Inkling, so that's
a
not
little
Inkling.
Mac, let's go.
So,
Pocket Little Mac coming out, just full of surprises today, right?
oh dear, and here we are into game 1 of top 16 and on to SBF.
I can imagine this stage is just so they both can approach as much as they can.
This is the most neutral stage in the pool, if you ask me. Much more neutral than PS2. Love to see players, if they're going to gentleman to a stage, this is the stage you should go to. But already, Hanyo coming out with a good percent lead, going for the roller a bit, you know. Hanyo sometimes has a bit of a tendency to go some early rollers, so we have to be a bit careful about that, looking to see what she's doing this set. But both players look like they're feeling each other out, just trying to get some spacing, and see if they can get anything going in this first stock. And it is Hanyo getting something going at the moment, goes to the 2-frame, doesn't manage to get it. Roller does manage to bury, but the trade means that she's not going to manage to get any conversion off it. And we are just going to get the Pyra coming out, and Zenatti's going to be looking to try and even this up.
Switching off the Pyra already. The air dodge not enough to get out of Booyah percent just yet, but the out smash going to take stock. Booyah doesn't really matter whether it kills or not, as long as Hanyo can continue to find these kills. Spot during the I can't remember what. The dash out on shield, not very safe. Zenatti probably a bit angsty to get a percent lead, or at least even it up. But kind of struggling to keep getting a lot of damage here.
Yeah, at the moment, Hanyo's getting a lot of the good side of these trades. Every trade for her is a good position, and when she's got this stock lead, and we're really looking for Zenatti to kind of get something going, because at the moment it's straight hit here, straight hit there. Nothing really feels like it's flowing in this neutral or advantage state there. But the side B does connect, second side B goes on stage. Lovely, lovely chase off stage to get that stock, but 94%, 98%, is this Booyah percent? It is Booyah percent, and so Hanyo having an entire stock lead now. Zenatti's got his work out from in this game 1 to bring it back to even.
We've been seeing a bit of Pyra coming out occasionally. I think Zenatti just really wants to get stocks early here, and considering Hanyo has such a good lead already, using the side B to get our disadvantage right there. But air dodging right into the attack, but still getting me forward. Ledge trapping a bit. Wow.
This definitely isn't a situation that Zenatti can't come back from. We've had a really good string there to get a lot of percent, but now I say talk about strings.
Oh, it's out there! It's a reversal and get the stock early.
Yeah, and Zenatti just makes me eat my words. I was about to talk about how great that string was looking for Hanyo, but finds her down there at disadvantage, but still 88% on to Zenatti already. This is in Booyah percent. This is not looking too great. Can Zenatti get back to stage at the moment? Mythra's recovery not known to be too good. Not quite going to manage to get back, and it is going to be Hanyo taking game 1 of the set. This is best of 5. We are into best of 5 territory now, so a lot of time left to adapt. But we're going to have to see if Zenatti can do that. It definitely didn't feel like he got his game plan going in that game. If you watch Zenatti a lot, he's very aggressive in neutral, but can carry that into quite a flowing advantage state. 4-5 hits, getting 30-40%. I don't feel like we really saw that in that game 1 at all, so I have to see if he can adapt going into game 2.
Inkling can be a bit difficult to actually keep in disadvantage. Inkling has a lot of good tools to actually mix up their recovery. The recovery is hard to hit. The side B can give you basically an additional jump, to be honest, as well as some momentum. So with maintaining a lot of damage from advanced state can be a little difficult. We see a bit of an overcommitment there to try to continue getting a bit damage. The up tilt not quite hitting a blind spot. But the ledge attack getting back on stage. Bit of combo here. Can Amelia bring the percent split even? Guess she can, but the other extension to get reversal by the neutral air. Amelia should probably be a bit more careful with how she chooses to work around the advanced state, because Zenatti has been doing a lot of reversals, and last game we saw that down air particularly very effective.
Yeah, I mean, Zenatti came out of this stock really strong, showing off that combo again, because the down air does not quite combo into the up smash there. But this is a very even stock of this game too. The Pyra being out is very scary for Inkling. That down there can convert into some early kills. Obviously 105, not so early. You're not too annoyed if you're dying there. That down there not quite going to manage to take it though. Does manage to air dodge back to stage safely. The back air out of shield is going to manage to get Hanyo out of disadvantage. But is the Pyra in there going to take it and straight back to Mythra? Going to see how much extra percent we can get going. We saw at the start of stock 1, Zenatti managed to get a string of 55%. We'll have to see if he can get another one of those going in this stock 2 to try and put that extra percent on the Rimska.
Well, we're already seeing a bit of damage coming out from the back air right there. Back air up B, very classic Mythra combo. Trying to avoid any sort of side B to get an early stock. Percent coming out right there from the up B as well. Ledge trapping, Amelia getting out fine though.
Ooh, that roller does actually hit. I thought that Zenatti got away from that one, but the roller does hit. The berry comes out, and that forward smash is going to take out the stock. And only 58%. This feels very doable. What do you think?
It definitely seems doable for both players. I wouldn't say the lead here really matters too much, because the damage output from Inkling and the kill power can be especially useful, and Amelia is finding a lot of grabs so far. Zenatti's putting himself in a shield occasionally and just being put into burst range for grabs, and if we see some booyahs coming out from that as a result, it's going to be pretty easy to even out.
Yeah, you definitely see that, and Hanyo is very good at getting that percent off those grabs. Even when she gets those grabs before Booyah percent, she knows how to get the percent off it. But she is sitting at 112% right now with Pyra out, and this can be a very scary situation. Oh, but that air dodge down, is that an SD? It is! That is so unfortunate coming out of Zenatti. All that hard work he had put into this set so far. Oh, this game so far, sorry, has just kind of slipped away. He really needs to try and find this kill soon. That's a very big mental issue, and get up attack out of the tech situation. Very good to get Hanyo out of that situation without losing a kill to that dash attack. And I'm kind of scared in this position. Zenatti had such a strong lead going on, but now I'm just not so sure. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a bit difficult if Zenatti stays in Pyra. It's obviously very tempting, and it worked out with that forward tilt right there, but it's something to be a bit cautious of, because Amelia's movement is one of the things which really keeps her in the lead. It's one of the things which really makes her stand out compared to other players, and as long as you're in Pyra, that's going to be very difficult to actually deal with, especially since Inkling low profiles a lot of things during their dash.
Yeah, for sure. But Zenatti has done a great job of evening this out. Doesn't get hit by the berry, but again, another trade means that Hanyo can't get a big punish of that. Landing there from the Mythra does do that, get him out of that percentage. It's the typical down throw into the down, forward throw into the down smash, gets some more percent going on. And now it just looks like Hanyo is the one that's looked trapped in the corner a bit, and this pirate is out. How can she get out of the corner? And the answer is she can't, as that down air up air is going to hit and take the second game, evening up the game count at 1-1. Very nice adaptations, I feel like, in that game too, out of Zenatti.
Yeah, I feel like they were taking their swings when they really needed to at disadvantage instead of going for anything a bit risky. They were eventually avoiding more grabs by the final stock as well, and just adapting to Amelia's movement, Hanyo's movement.
Yeah, for sure. And both players going no break at all, straight into game 3. Will they get this? Will they keep the momentum going? Both players obviously seem to feel like they're in a good position. And onto FD we go. This is definitely Hanyo's pick. I especially know of this stage, specifically this version of FD. She loves this version of FD. And we'll have to see if she can make this stage work for her a bit better. But at the moment, it looks like Zenatti's taken the early percent, and the early combos are going his way at the moment, 67%. And then Hanyo needs to find a way back onto stage at the moment. Pyra neutral B coming out, but not managing to connect. The down air does hit, and the up smash is going to take taking the stock very, very early. Only 37% on to Zenatti at the moment, and less than a half minute gone on the timer. This is looking a bit scary.
As we've already seen this set though, it's only game 3, but we've already seen between the 2 games we've already witnessed that early leads haven't really mattered all that much. Both players can get percent quite early, can get stocks, so I wouldn't say this is particularly too scary for Hanyo, even though it is quite advantageous for position for Zenatti to be in. Zenatti doesn't really need to hold forward too much, but as we know, Zenatti will anyway, because that's how Zenatti rolls.
If he can't hold forward, he does not want to play this video game, that's for sure. The roller does connect, and that F smash is going to take the stock. Only 71% is a fair amount, but it's definitely not undoable. As you say, Inkling has got a good neutral state and can get that percent back very easily, and that looks like it could just be a gimp at 30%. It is! Pyra Mythra's recovery, something that is very exploitable, and Hanyo seems to show some masterclass of how you do it right there. And as you said, the early lead just doesn't seem to have mattered.
This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. For both these characters, they're fairly versatile characters. They both have similar strengths and weaknesses, in my opinion, although Inkling's recovery is significantly better than Pyra Mythra's. But they both have some similar issues with killing with Mythra, for example, but Pyra kind of fixes that, as Inkling's grab game could also be comparative, side B can be comparative. They both have certain ways to actually find the kills early, and Pyra's recovery, like, there is a specific reason. As we see, 163% Hanyo just kind of avoiding any kill moves right now, and it's looking a little difficult for Zenatti.
It is, but the big thing about how Zenatti is playing is he's not taking much percent in in a trade. You know, he's just taking that safe hit. But as I say that, the grab does come out, and another 30% is part of their roller does try to come out, but that was a very ambitious roller there. Optimistic, I must say. And so it is the Pyra there finally going to take it, and now Mythra is back out. What can Mythra do? Can Mythra close this gap in percent or not? Looks like it's not. Is this Booyah percent? It looks like it might be up throw into up air, and Honeyho is going to take a 2-1 lead in this set. Zenatti shaking his head, not looking happy about how that second stock went, I imagine. You definitely won't want to be seeing too many of those. I don't want to say SDs because it wasn't. It was a forced error, but dying at 30% never feels good.
No. That's the risk with characters like Pyra, Mythra, Roy, Crom, these kind of characters who are just incredibly volatile. Once you get what you want, you're just, you know, a very happy person. But as soon as you get gimped, things can be very bad, not just for the game, but for your mentality. And that's the last thing you want, especially fighting a player just as good as you. You want to keep your composure, and it can be quite difficult to.
Mentality is obviously a big thing in these best of 5 sets, and very much something that you need to keep on top of. And I'm hoping, for Zenatti's sake, that he can keep his mentality in a good state, because Game 2, SD'd. Game 3, died at 30. And if this happens one more time, I feel like it could be a lights out for this set for Zenatti. Though I feel like without those early kills, he's still looking to be in a very good position in this set.
We've already seen Zenatti try to go for a cheeky down air, try to close the stock early, but I think Zenatti can just play a bit more patiently, in my opinion. At ledge right there, Zenatti could have been a bit more patient, try to play a bit more reactive there. But I can imagine it's partly just because Zenatti died super early in the last game and just wants to make sure their lead is strong and hard to actually do anything about.
And sometimes you just have to mix that in, right? If they're not expecting you to go for it, then you might just catch them out. But Zenatti getting a very nice conversion there, takes the early stock and doesn't have much percent on himself. Very much a game in his favor yet again as Game 3 started. Let's see if he can keep control of it so far. And with this Mythra out, I imagine he can. That's a nice conversion coming out there, finishing with the up B, 39%. Honeyho has to manage to land it. She does manage to jab into down smash, but Zenatti keeping a low percent means he's not quite dead, but that is Booyah, but not quite Booyah percent. Looked like it should have been, but maybe not quite the rage on to get that going. But at the moment, Honeyho has managed to bring this back fairly well from quite a big deficit after the first stock.
I definitely noticed a lot of reversals from ledge from Honeyho so far, with forward air particularly out of disadvantage. Zenatti wants to be a bit more cautious about that.
She loves forward air out of disadvantage. It's mental how much she gets away with it. Oh dear. But no, you are entirely right on that.
It's a big move, to be fair, and when you're playing character like Pyra Mythra, a lot of the time you just want to be throwing out moves to just try to secure an early slot, especially with Mythra, and then you could get caught out by these things. Not quite getting the footstool conversion there, but oh, the down air into the up air, not quite killing, but not the best situation for Honeyho right here. The back air, up air, even not quite getting it, but if Zenatti just stays on this platform, it's a bit difficult for Honeyho to actually do anything about. Grab, the auto conditioning from Pyra is pretty good. You know, if Pyra's out at 100%, you really just want to shield, and so the grabs are quite coming out from both these players quite a lot at this point in time.
Yeah, this is very, very back and forth in terms of positioning right now, but Zenatti hasn't been hit in about 45 seconds, I don't think. Still at 0% of that stock, and that up tilt is going to take an entire fresh stock ahead now is Zenatti in this Game 4, looking like he's poised to even up this set in a very kind of commanding way. So it's up to Honeyho to kind of prove that she can not let this game and maybe this set start to run away from her, but Zenatti is the one still managing to get these early conversions. Another landing there into an up B. What else can Zenatti get? Up tilt into up air, and goes for the other up air but doesn't manage to land. Down air into up back air, goes for a follow up off stage but doesn't manage to find it. This is starting to get a bit scary for Honeyho, but she does find the grab into the forward throw. Doesn't manage to find the conversion off it though. What is she looking for next? What can she do in this position?
As you say, this is a pretty scary position for Honeyho, but I don't think she's particularly afraid from how she's been playing. We saw a cheeky forward smash read earlier. We're seeing some aggressive movement, a lot of defensive movement as well. She doesn't seem particularly afraid of how she's going to lose the stock. She seems a bit comfortable with the set lead, even though this game is actually a little bit bad for her right now. Not just a little bit, but really dire, especially considering Pyra is out. Forward smash though. I think she's ready to even this up.
You say that, but 120% is nothing to scoff at. This is a hell of a lead for Zenatti. Very much looking to finish this off as soon as possible. The Pyro comes down. He is starting to camp this middle platform, as we've seen a few times already. Looking for that down there, fishing for that down there. You know it's all he wants, and Honeyho is not going to give it to him for free. But can she get in to get the percent? Because at the end of the day, it's her game to approach. And that looks like, oh, not quite going to take it with that conversion. But it looks like Can Pyra finish it off? Goes for the F2, doesn't manage to connect. And now the grab. What can we get off this? Nothing! Nothing comes out of this. Oh, and again, no!
Is that gonna be nice?
That's it!
Zenatti cannot recover.
What a finish! And Zenatti is suitably unhappy about that, as you can see. Gimped twice at the early percent in 2 different games that it felt like were both his winning games. You take those Gimps away and it's a 3-1 in the favour of Zenatti. That's a tough loss.